I think he want no smoke because his ass ain't replied.
I'm sweating.
I'm not shy.
No sweat at all. Let's see what we're doing. Shalom, shalom, Israel. Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shalom. Thumb by Shimon Yahshua to the sisters. This is Officer Yahweh Thumb of 50. I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street under commanding General YAHANNA. And today's class is a continuation of last week's class, how to deal with your spouse, part 2. We're going to go ahead and bang that out and finish it up. So we're going to take a couple minutes and then we're going to get started. Let everybody get where they need to be in this.
You live on?
I'm live on YouTube. That should be up. It ain't popped up yet. Let's see. It hasn't popped up yet. I'm sure it'll pop up though. All right, so we'll just kind of get started. So like I said, last week we got into how to deal with your spouse. I think we kind of left off on actually dealing with a wicked woman and things of that sort. So this week I want to start off on let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 26. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 25. So verse. We're gonna start at 1. Hold on 1 second. All right, go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25, verse 1.
Read.
And 3 things I was beautified and stood up, beautiful both before God and men.
So right now, what are we speaking on? It's simple as what you read, but I just want to make sure we all there. It's just talking about whatever these 3 things we're about to name are beautiful. They're glorious things that find beauty to the Lord, but also to men. Right. So what we're about to read is things that are a glorious thing. It's a beautiful thing if you can find it. Read.
The unity of brethren. The unity
of brethren, the first thing in name. Brotherhood, which is one of the biggest things in the U.P.K. You're going to get that brotherhood here in the U.P.K. And it's a glorious thing. And it's beautiful in the sight of the Lord. Another precept to that would be Psalms 133, I think. But that's neither here nor there for this class. That would be another class. Read.
The love of neighbors.
The love of neighbors. When blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans come together and they can love each other, you understand, enjoy each other's company, their time, their space, you understand? Acting as a nation, a righteous nation at that. It's beautiful. Glorious unto men, but most of all, glorious unto the Lord, the Most High God. Read. What else?
A man. And a wife.
And a who?
A wife.
A man and a wife. What?
Agreed together.
That agreed together. And that goes into what we was talking about last week. What's the precept on that? For this cause shall a man
cleave to a woman.
He shall leave his father, his mother,
and cleave to.
You just said it.
To a woman.
And they shall be
one flesh.
Right. They shall be a man and wife that agree together. That's that one flesh, that one mind. You understand? And that's what this is about. That goes into the foundation of how to deal with each other. You must be on one accord. You must be of that one mind. Why? Because let's just say if you got one is a Christian and another one is a Muslim, I guarantee you that ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Even in the world, well, that is in the world, but even in the worldliest of worlds, if you got one representing Crips and the other representing Bloods, I guarantee you that ain't gonna work. One of them, something gonna have to give. Are they gonna be going at it? So guess what? In every which way, shape, or form, should a man and a wife, they should agree with one another in all that they do. Now, give me Ecclesiastes chapter 26, starting in verse 13.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 26, verse 13. The grace of a wife
Right?
delighteth her husband.
What's that mean?
I guess.
Go ahead and read the rest of it, then go ahead and break that down.
And her discretion will fatten his bones.
Not read, but what does that mean?
A humble wife, I guess, that's listening.
Right.
Make her husband proud. I mean,
bring
joy to him.
So right. So the grace of a wife delighteth her husband, meaning her grace, the way she carries herself, the way that she answers him, the way that she's humble before him. It delighteth her husband. That's it. Now, guess what? If you delight in your husband, guess what? Now you got a happy husband, a happy wife. Now y'all can agree together on things. Because now he can understand your pain. You keep him happy. So when you come to him with something that's foreign to him, he don't like seeing that, because most of the time, 99% of the time, you keep him happy. So now when something's wrong, he's more willing to hear you. He's more willing to open his ear and say, dang, my baby usually try to keep me happy, and I see that's what she try to do. But today it's just something bothering her. He might even see it before you say something, because he knows how you handle yourself gracefully in front of him. So in that, guess what? He delights himself in that. It's a glorious thing when a woman humbles down and actually wants to listen to her head. Now, of course, we're speaking of all righteous men. Let's get that understood. We're not just speaking of a Christian, a Muslim, gangsters, atheists. We're speaking of righteous men. So for a righteous man, it will delight him to see his woman do this. Now, some men that ain't nowhere near righteous, they'll get a woman like this and they'll mess her up. They'll screw her over. And then she slowly becomes that wicked woman that we read about last week in Ecclesiastes. And that's what you want to stay away from. You definitely don't want to drive your rib into that. So read that again and then break down that second part.
The grace of the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 26, verse 13. The grace of a wife,
right,
delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones.
Her discretion will fatten his bones. What does that mean?
Discretion. So like I don't know. So I already know.
Discretion. So she's discreet, meaning she's not on Instagram half naked.
Right.
She doesn't go out in public just to show her figure. Right. She's not all up in other men's face. Right. Oh, you got a nice car. I just want to ride. Oh, you got nice jewelry. You got nice this. You got nice that. I just want to see. Right. She has discretion. At the end of the day, they would know, outside of her husband, no man would even think that he sees her. She has discretion, and that woman fattens her husband's bones. What does that mean? He's happy. He's relaxed. He's comfortable with her. Meaning, I have trust in her. That's the woman. That's the type of woman you trust. You don't trust Instagram models. You don't trust women that's what. And this is crazy. I'm starting to realize it ain't just Instagram models. You just got women half naked on the internet. You ain't even a model. You're just naked. I don't even know why you're doing that. But those are not the women you trust. Those are not discreet women. What are those women?
Folly women, whores.
Say it louder.
Whores.
And what else you say?
Folly women.
Yeah, folly women. Whores. Those are whores. They can say, well, you don't know what I do. I don't need to. I know you have naked on the internet. Obviously, you can't be a man loving you. If a man loved you, he would tell you stop being half naked on the internet. So you just really told on yourself. Because ain't no man loving you. You saying, I don't know what you do. But at the end of the day, for some reason, you feel comfortable enough to be half naked on the internet. A woman that ain't doing nothing don't want to be half naked nowhere. Right. If you ain't doing nothing, ain't nobody seen your body in so long, why would you just want to expose it like that? Right. You're telling on yourself. Now, let's see. Where was we at? On 13? Read 14. No, take your time to do that. Did it pop up? Most High Christ. Yeah, it says I'm live here, so okay. Again, if you got any questions or comments, feel free to put. We answer all things. So
You said verse 14.
where we at? Yeah, 20. Yeah, go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 26, verse 14.
Yep.
A silent and loving woman,
right,
is a gift of the Lord.
That's a glorious thing. That's a glorious scripture right there. It says what? A silent and loving woman is a gift from the Lord. Meaning, if you got a loud, all in your face woman, it ain't from the Lord, and she ain't nothing of the Lord. Her actions come from not the Lord, but his adversary. The woman, and this is unfortunate, but what we look at culturally as the common black woman, loud, proud, in your face, which is unfortunate, believe me. I don't want to look at a black woman like that. I just understand the stigma that's on our women. And it's unfortunate, like I said. But that woman is not of the Lord.
Right.
It's not. Read that again.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 26, verse 14.
Read.
A woman,
how glorious that is. Read.
Is a gift of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
And see, that's the part we got to understand as men. That's how you get that silent and loving woman. You instruct her mind. It must be a mind that's well instructed. Instructed in what? Instructed in the law, instructed in the scriptures, instructed in the Lord. It's up to us to teach our women those ways, right, in order to become that woman. Why? Because our women were born in America. I really shouldn't have to say much after that. You know, America teaches everything against the scriptures. Instead of a silent and what they say, a silent and loving woman, no, you get this harsh, loud, in your face, breath stink, fake everything, but want a real man woman. That's what America raises. But the Lord says, nothing so much work as a mind well instructed, meaning that's our duty as the man. We have to instruct our women. We have to instruct our households. It's up to us. If we don't instruct our households, believe me, America will. And you won't like the outcome of that. That's why, where is it? The 1 Timothy. Let me see real quick. I might want the scripture. Yeah, let's go to 1 Timothy 5. Because it's going to tell you how to rule your household, or more so than that, rule your family as a whole, as a man and as a leader.
5 verse.
Starting at 1. We're going to read down.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Rebuke, not an elder, but entreat him as a father.
Right? Meaning what? With the elder, like the scripture says in the law, give double honors to the hoary-haired man, meaning give double honors to the gray-haired man. So I'm not going to come off as quick and just rebuke him, because first you got to understand, by nature, this man has more wisdom than me. So I have to understand the whole matter before I can even go off rebuking him. You know, as soon as you see your son messing up, you know he don't know no better. I'm going to go ahead and get into him. But with an elder, you got to be patient with that. You got to understand the whole matter before you even think about it. Because for one, he's your elder. You give him that respect and understand that he may understand something I don't. It's all right. And I'm ready and willing to learn. But if it gets to the point where I understand the whole matter and he's wrong, then of course we tell him in the most respectful way. Salaklia, sir. That's la'ah. We can't do that. Read. But
entreat him as a father.
Right. So your elders, you respect them as a father. It's that simple. You wouldn't just go off on your dad like that. You have any respect for the brother. Nobody in their right mind would do that. Read.
And the younger men as brethren.
And the younger men as brethren. Why? Because that's what they are. So any of the younger brothers, you take them under your wing like they're little brothers. You understand? Which means you look out for them. You show them these scriptures too. You show them how to be men too, even if it's not your immediate son or your immediate brother. You still show them how to deal with themselves as a man of the Lord. You entreat them as a brother. Read.
The elder woman as mothers.
So your elder women as mothers, respect them as such. Read.
the younger as sisters.
Read.
With all purity.
With all purity. So guess what? This right here, if we just listen to these two verses right here, we could stop rape in our community. We could stop gang violence in our community. We could stop drugs in our community. We could stop pork, shrimp, and lobster in our community. We could stop all these holidays in our community. That's how people, that's why you have to understand the Bible in order to understand the power that's within the Bible. Because if you read it as a Christian, there is no power in this thing. Just a bunch of fairy tales that don't make no sense. But when you read it as such, we just read two scriptures that if we obey it, we'll fix our community. We'll fix our community just like that. But it gives more instruction. Read.
Honor widows.
Right.
There are widows indeed.
So widows that are widows indeed are older women that essentially are too old to remarry. You know, they're probably past their peak. They're past their their flower and everything like that. They're probably just, if they become widows, they're widows indeed, meaning you indeed will be a widow probably for the rest of your days. But it says honor those women. You understand? We don't make them feel like you ain't got no head, you ain't got nobody then. It's you bring them in, you show them love. You know what I'm saying? You be more patient with them. You be understanding with them. You teach them, you help them out. You understand? I said, this is teaching us, this is speaking to the men. If we just follow this right here, 1 Timothy 5, we can fix our communities as a whole. But it's up to us men to take on that challenge. You understand? Read.
But if any widow
Right.
have children or nephews,
Right.
let them learn first to show pity at home.
Right. Show pity at home. Read.
And to requite their parents.
We still get this lesson that, like I said, but if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show pity, honor, and that respect at home. You understand? Read.
And to requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before God.
Right. Read.
Now she that is a widow indeed,
Right.
and desolate,
Right.
trusteth in God,
Right.
and continueth in supplications and prayers night and day.
Right.
But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
Well, she does what?
Liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
What's that mean?
Basically, just go back to I'm not sure it was the last class, but basically dead flesh walking if you not falling after the laws of God or something like that.
Essentially, yeah, you're right. So give me an example of a woman that's, what it say? But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Give me an example of that woman today.
Heck, what? Woman strippers?
Yep.
Strippers?
Somebody else. Strippers, who else?
Party girls, you know, all of
a lot of party girls. Yep. Party girls. Exactly. Strippers, party girls, one more. Anything. Because it's not hard. I mean, it's really one answer you could have said that would have just solidified it for me.
What, horse?
But yes, horse too. but any woman outside the UPK might as well be that one.
Right.
That's dead flesh walking.
True.
Because even if she thinks she's walking in these scriptures, she's doing it according to her own will.
Right.
She's doing it according to what somebody of their own will taught her.
Right.
So at the end of the day, yeah, any woman outside the UPK that ain't living in these scriptures, yeah, that's who he's talking about. So at the end of the day, what does it say? But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And that's also a precept to show what? You may or may not get this.
Wait, say
that also is a precept to show what? When the Bible, I'll just give it to you for time's sake because I started late. When the Bible says he's come for the dead, that doesn't necessarily mean he always meant a literal dead person. Exactly. You understand? So when it says like the book of Ezekiel, when it talks about the valley of dry bones, you understand, and how they rose and all this, it was talking about men and women that were already alive. They weren't in the truth. They breathed just like anybody else in the truth breathed.
Right.
but they weren't alive because they never lived according to life.
Right.
You see, understand what I'm saying? That's what Baruch 4:1. Read Baruch 4:1 real quick, and then we're gonna get back on topic.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of the commandments of God,
Right.
and all the law that endure forever.
And all the law that endure forever. Read.
All they
Right.
that keep it shall come to life.
All they that keep the law shall do what?
Come to life.
Life. Read.
But such as leave it.
Such as leave it, meaning what? They don't obey it. They do their own thing. They live according to their own will, their own understanding. Read.
Shall die.
You shall be dead. You shall die. It's that simple. So that's exactly what that's speaking on. So that's of destruction. You understand? Now, where was we at? Read verse 7 of 1 Timothy 5. Where we was just at. Where it says she liveth in pleasure.
Moving verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 6.
Yep.
But she that liveth in pleasure,
right,
is dead while she liveth.
She's dead while she liveth. We understand that. Read.
And these things give in charge.
Right.
That they may be blameless.
That they what?
That they may be blameless.
It says give in what?
Give in charge.
That what?
That they may be blameless.
This is how you order your household, man. This is how you order your family. You understand? It says give these things in charge that they may be blameless. So if you're doing these things for them, they should be blameless before the Lord. Shouldn't have so-called Instagram models and thought this and all that, and brothers that don't know themselves, and brothers eating pork, shrimp, and lobster, and brothers thinking a nice date is red lobster. Look, listen, if you do this, we're going to fix the whole community, black man. If you do this, what? 1 Timothy 5, 1 through 7, we're going to fix the whole community all across the globe.
Right.
Now, of course, the whole book is needed. Don't get me wrong. But just that right there, if we listen and obey and apply it to life, we fix everything wrong with us. We fix everything. But that's how simple and stiff-necked our people are. We don't even want to do the simple things to help our people. But we definitely want to cry and complain.
Right.
And that's what we got to stop doing. If you want a righteous family, you want a righteous marriage, guess what? Do these things. Show your woman the law. Learn the law. Humble down under some brothers that can show you this. This is why you have double honors to your elders.
Right.
You understand? To get your household in order. All right, go ahead, drop that. Let me get where we at? Let me get Ecclesiastes 26 and 6. That's what I want.
That's it.
Hold on. Start at verse 7.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 7.
Right.
An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro.
Right.
He that hold of her
Right.
is as though he held a scorpion.
That's what an evil wife is considered. How do you know if you got an evil wife? Give me an example.
She brings you great stress, I guess. I mean, everyone's gonna be stressed, but she brings you stress as far as like not listening to what you tell her.
That would be part of it. Yeah, that would definitely be a big part of it. But just by her character, the way she carries herself, you understand, like I said, you know what I'm saying, discretion. You understand? If she ain't got if she's not discreet, if she doesn't have any discretion about herself, guess what? You already know you got an evil woman on your hands.
Right.
She gonna be trying to mess or talk to the next best thing.
Right.
So she really ain't no good.
Right.
You understand? So that's how you know if you got that evil woman. You understand? But in the Lord compares this evil woman to a scorpion. Everybody knows a scorpion is dangerous. It can take your life. And so can that evil woman. You understand?
Right.
So if you up here in love with a beautiful woman that's just evil, guess what? You might as well forget it.
Right.
You understand? That's not a good foundation. Now, of course, the only good thing I can say about that is you can get her into the school, you can get her into UPK, becoming a part of this one body, and she can learn how to be that righteous woman. And it'll be a glorious thing to watch that transition. You understand? It'll be so glorious. But most of our women are that, and that's the unfortunate truth. Read.
A drunken woman.
A what?
A drunken woman.
Read.
And a gag abroad.
A gatter abroad.
Gatter abroad.
Right.
Causeth great anger.
What is this? What is this specifically? Like, you know this. I know you know this, not saying you experienced it, but every man knows exactly what this is. This is just how the Lord put it in his words, but every man knows. So what is this? Read it again, that part, and then tell me what that is.
A drunken woman. And a gatter abroad. Causeth great anger.
Causes great anger. Agreed. Now, who and or what is that? A drunken woman and a gatter abroad.
A Christian woman?
Christian women can be that, but even more specific. Think about where you would find a drunken woman. A bar. And what does drunken women do?
Talk too much.
And they gad abroad. They're in his face, his face, his face.
Right.
And that drunken woman that's gadding abroad, what will she do? Cause great anger. Because you know she belonged to somebody.
Right.
You know she really supposed to be at home with her kids or with her man or whoever, but she's gonna be drunk and she felt some kind of way, so she's gonna be drunk and gadding abroad. She's gonna be in everybody's face. You understand? And guess what? That woman causes great anger. So if you want a foundation for your marriage, brothers, you better not get the woman that's always got to go out, because that woman will be very disappointing in the end. Thus saith the Lord.
Right.
Read.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 26, verse 9.
No, you got to finish up.
Verse 8. Yeah. Verse 8. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causeth great anger, and she would not cover her own shame.
Right. Read.
The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
Exactly. And what's that saying?
By the way she carries herself, by the way she look.
Exactly. She gotta have them long eyelids out here,
nails
blinking, his nails long, short skirt, this, that, and the third. You know. I mean, it's just obvious. The Lord saying, don't even waste time. You already know what she about. You understand? You already know what she about. Hold on one second. Let that boy get this. One second. Hold on. I'll plug it in. Most High Christ. All right, let me get Ecclesiastes 25 and 22.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25, verse 2.
Remember.
Wait, 21. The book.
So what is that saying? Right there.
Just don't fall for the looks of a woman. I mean, and then lust after her just because she looked good or whatever like that.
Right. Now, is it saying you shouldn't want a beautiful woman?
No, it's not saying that, but don't just be focused.
What word or words with me wanting a beautiful woman? What in this verse? What tells me that it's not saying I can't? want or love a beautiful woman.
Not.
Exactly. Stumble not. Meaning, don't start, if paying and buying everything and losing your mind and all this. Stumble not. Because if this woman for you, y'all should be able to take it slow and learn each other, learn to love each other and like each other, appreciate each other, and then, do what you do. But you don't just start off saying, hey, baby, I got bands. Look at this. Let's serve the world. Because she might be this woman that we're about to read. Read.
Full of anger, impotence, and much reproach.
What? All of those kind of go into each other. 22.
What if she control her husband? Yes. If she
maintain means she's doing what she's supposed to do.
Right.
She's putting, I guess you could say she's somewhat putting in the effort to do that, but then she's full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. What does that mean?
What, she's not happy about it or something?
Right, she's not happy about it. So, read 23. We'll find out who that woman is.
A wicked woman.
A who?
A wicked woman.
That's who that woman is. That's exactly who that woman is. She's doing her thing, but it doesn't fulfill her. It doesn't please her.
Right.
I cook, I clean, but I need to go out. I need to be cute. For who?
Right.
I thought you were supposed to be cute for that man.
Right.
But you need to go out. You need to be cute. But your man see you every day.
Right.
That's not enough. That's not enough. Almost like this woman now, she just feels like a woman. And a woman, even if they don't have intentions on sleeping with those guys, that's still a what? Read verse 23.
A wicked woman.
A wicked woman. That's exactly who that is. So verse 23 is saying, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 23. A wicked woman abateth the countenance in a wounded heart.
So what's that saying? You said maintaining her husband,
right? Because
of her wickedness, he could tell she ain't, she so-called ain't being fulfilled by that.
Right.
The things that she's doing to give.
Right.
So now she's been in her own ways, her own moves.
Right.
Guess what she brings to that brother now? A heavy countenance and a wounded heart.
Stress.
Right.
Maketh weak hands and feeble knees.
Right. So she not been that strength. She not been that backbone. And how do we not understand that it's a wicked woman that finds it hard to do what verse 20? This goes back to the first book of the law. How do we know if she has an issue with doing 22, like she'll do it, but she half-ass do it or something? You know what I'm saying? She ain't doing it to her best of her ability. She maintained her husband just enough to get by. How do we understand that that woman is a wicked? All right. Keep forgetting I started late, so I ain't got time to,
The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said,
right,
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Right. Understanding that's why pregnancy is what it is. Read.
In sorrows thou shalt bring forth children.
I'm not sure if I know one woman actually went through the pregnancy that didn't, have pain or sorrow. Read.
And thy desire,
right,
shall be to thy husband.
Read that again.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
What does that mean? What is the desire?
Longing, passion, gratitude.
Yeah. Longing, passion. What we got to understand is, and why do we understand, even before she did this was her purpose. Who is the her? Our women. What did he say? It is not good for man to be alone. When he said that, he was saying, I need to make a woman of understanding and knowledge to show him what that is about. Because we understood that Adam wasn't alone. We understood that there were people, but it's just like today. Um, if both of us brothers in the truth, we ain't got no women. But we're still alone because we could go get those women, but they not gonna bring what this righteous woman is gonna bring. That was her purpose from jump, to show you the difference between that out there and the woman in the truth. She did, but okay, well, I'm gonna show you this is what it is. I didn't make you to be like the rest of these women, so stop trying. I made you to be something greater and better than these women. And if you're not gonna enforce it, I'll put it in the law now. You have to enforce it. That's what the whole purpose of this was. You understand?
Right.
Most High in Christ. So now, where?
I think it's at 23, 25.
25. You said 23. It might. That sound.
I know it was between.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
25.
Yeah, go ahead. Read from Read 23.
24.
25,
verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
A wicked woman, a Beth, the courage maketh a heavy countenance and a wounded heart, hands and feeble knees.
Exactly. Meaning, instead of building her brother up, she tears her brother down. Right. She tells her husband down. Meaning, this is why you see them a lot of times. They out of shape. They get gray hairs early. You understand? Mm-hmm. Like, oh Lord. So that's what that's going into. You got to be getting your woman, and you think that she's gonna be the one, and she just turned out wicked as hell. Like, I feel sorry for that, brother. Lord be with you. So yeah, that's definitely something that we can't do. This also helps. In verse 15.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse.
With the wise, meaning your company who you keep around you are the men and women of the U.P.K. It's that simple. The wise of the earth. The wise men, the wise women of the earth. Read.
And all thy communication.
Right.
In the law of the Most High.
And what? Read that again.
And all thy communication.
Mm-hmm.
In the law of the Most High.
So that goes into, how does this deal with a relationship? If you ever have an issue in your relationship, well, guess what? Take it to the law of the Lord. Black man. But there's nothing that can't be fixed. The Lord, man, I wish I had the scripture off top. You can try to search for it. I don't want to take too much time, but it talks about how some, I think, righteous men are tried through the furnace of adversity or something like that. Just search furnace of adversity. Furnace. Pure gold is made. It goes through the fire. Like, it's the whole purpose that Christ came to be like his brethren, to go and live in the slums of whatever was in Rome at that time. He was in the hood. Christ was in the hood. Like, he had to go through that in order to show us we can make it through it. So this is how you become a great leader. This is how you become a great mentor. You have to have adversity that you push through. So whenever a scandal or something comes up in your life, of course, God forbid that you get into anything. A lot of times it's to help us and build us and to make us stronger into who we have to be. Not to break us, not to say, oh, look at what he or she did, they're horrible. No, it's like, all right, well, now we're looking at who he is, or do they just lay down? And this is what, even in relationships, you have to understand. It's going to be tough times. It's going to be times where you probably want to be at each other's neck. You can't stand each other, this, that, and the third. But if you do this, stay in the communication of the wise, which will be PK, and always bring it back to the laws of God and to what is right and what is wrong, you'll make it through whatever the situation is, no matter how hard or easy or difficult. Hispanics and Native Americans, we will be able to get through anything. That's off top. Have you found that?
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 5.
That's in this book too? Back, hold on. I want you to read this one from the top. Yeah, I know this chapter. Man, this one's dope.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter.
Exactly what it's speaking on. Lord done put us in this for just to be weak. You understand? White folks, whenever they rich, they live in their life, and then they get a little adversity, they mess around and kill themselves and their whole family. Oh my God, I'm not gonna make it. That's not what this is made for. We built tough. We built different. You understand? Read.
My son,
Mm-hmm.
if thou come to serve the Lord,
You come to serve the Lord, grits and giggles.
for temptation,
For the easy way out.
for temptation.
Stop smoking weed. You stop hitting hoes. You stop doing drugs. You stop doing all that crap. And you come to serve the Lord, guess what he tell you to do? The first thing he tell you to do, prepare your soul for temptation. What does that mean and why does he say it?
Everybody is not going. If you actually serve the Lord to a T, then everybody else is not going to be the same playing field as you. I mean, it's going to be a lot of temptation as far as women, drugs, everything out there. I mean, basically, not the world anymore.
Exactly. So that could definitely be a big temptation. But it all. Go ahead. You got something you want to say?
I don't know where I heard from, but people were reference watched the other day, reference being in the wilderness, being like a state, so coming into the truth and preparing yourself for temptation. Is that kind of like being in the state of the wilderness, kind of like how when YAHANNA he was in the wilderness and then you had Satan coming to keep tempting him to make him do keep doing this, and he was specifically in there fast.
Right, 40-day fast. Yeah.
Right. But then you had Satan continuously coming with him with these deals and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Could this
So
be like a reference in like being in the wilderness, prepare yourself for temptation?
I wouldn't say so much in the wilderness. I understand that Christ himself went to the wilderness and that's where he was tempted. I understand that. But he was physically tempted with all these things. But with this, you gotta understand. I mean, this temptation, it could come when you with this temptation, you could get into the and you might see you had a thing where you used to touch, hit married women or something. So I'm not gonna say it necessarily has to be in a wilderness. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say that because it doesn't say wilderness. I'm not. So what I'm saying is I would not say that means wilderness, but it could happen in the wilderness. But this temptation here specifically in this verse, you know what I'm saying? When you come into this, you really gonna go through it because remember, Christ was serving the Lord from jump. He had to go to the wilderness to even find us. You know what I'm saying? With us, we come out of the world and everything, and when we come into this, that's when prepare your soul for temptation because it's gonna come.
Okay, so I guess the question is more so is this an example of being?
I wouldn't say that.
It's saying that wilderness.
I wouldn't say that. I would have to probably ask my wise counsel, but I don't think that's what it said. All right, so read that again. Where you at?
Book of Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 1.
Read.
My son, thou come to serve the Lord. Prepare thy constantly endure trouble.
Make not haste in time of trouble. What does that mean?
Don't run in the time of trouble.
Yeah, I'm right. You stand strong in that time of trouble.
Right.
You get a little tough. You find that adversity. You stand strong in it, and you get through it. You understand? The same way that gold, when they get hot, they don't run. They sit there and let what run because they don't understand there's a purpose for this. Right. I'm going to get something out of this, no matter how bad it is. We stand strong in the Lord. You understand? Read. Damn right. Read.
And depart not away.
Right.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Right. So at the end of this, when you go through this, you'll be increased at the end of this infirmity, or not infirm, but through these trials and tribulations, you'll be increased. Read.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low.
So it says, whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, no matter how good or horrible it is.
Right.
Take cheerfully. Damn, no sweat. All right, we're gonna get through this. It says, when thou is changed to a lower state, that could be financially, mentally, spiritually, whatever. It's been times where I'm like, man, I ain't reading the same. I ain't this. Guess what? I got to get through it. That's temptation. Right. Yeah, because I could easily just put the Bible down and say, I learned a little bit. I know enough to show somebody. Right. But that's not what this is about. Right. You got to pick that thing up. You got to keep going. You understand? Right. So even that's an adversity. It can be as little as that or as big as family issues or relationship issues. You understand? When those relationship issues come in, that's adversity. But like it says, where was it at? It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. That can be in a relationship where the relationship, y'all was riding high, loving each other, this, that, and the third.
Right.
But then something, I'll get back to that high point.
Right.
But when you get back up there, y'all gonna be stronger than when y'all was up there before. You understand? That's what that means. Read.
For gold.
For what?
For gold.
That's what we've been talking about. Read.
Leaders.
Damn right. Leaders, righteous men, men of the Lord, men that are acceptable to represent the Lord on earth. Because all men ain't acceptable.
Right.
I don't care how much money you got. I don't care what your status is. I don't care how athletic you are, how much you can sing, how much you can dance, how tall, how short, how skinny, how fat, how strong, how anything you are. If you can't get down with what the Lord is saying, you are nothing. That's what you represent.
Right.
A whole whop of nothing. Dead.
Right.
This is why the Lord calls you dead, even though you're sitting up here breathing every day. Because you can't represent
the furnace of adversity.
The furnace of adversity. Meaning we go through adversity. But this is how we understand that when we get through it, okay, I'm acceptable. I'm somebody that the Lord cares about, that the Lord wants to deal with. Because not only did I have adversity, but he brought me through it.
Right.
And not only did he bring me through it, but I stood strong in it. Meaning I didn't run from it. I ain't trying to sweep it under the rug. You understand? Like they do on the show we watch. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do none of that. I said, all right, this is what it is. Where did I go wrong? This is where I went wrong. Oh, we gonna fix what I did. Because I went through the furnace of adversity.
Right.
Now, for women, you read this, and this is how you understand if you got that man, me, let me fix this. Let me see what I can do to fix this. Let me see what we can do to fix this. This right here, shoot. If the Lord says this is how he deals for acceptable men, as a woman, what makes you think you should do anything different? Like that's it right there. I'm gonna go to Ecclesiastes chapter 2, 1 through what, 6, 5, and I'm gonna say, can he live up to this standard? When he falls, does he get back up? When he's dealing with me, does he teach me the law? Or if he does something wrong, does he? That's simple. Like I said, everything comes back to these scriptures, man. It's not hard. Everything you need is in here, but we don't want to adhere to it. That's our problem. It's men and women. You understand? All right. So we got that. Let me see. Go to Ephesians. I want to bang it out with Ephesians. I still got a lot more precepts. That's crazy. We're not gonna do a part 3. Next week we're gonna do that.
It was book
Ephesians.
chapter.
Hold on. Yeah, Ephesians. Starting at verse 22, I think.
The book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Wives,
Right.
submit yourselves unto your own husbands,
right,
as unto the Lord.
So it says, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as unto the Lord. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Fall after your husband as you will fall after the Lord. So
that's exactly what it means, but like that's a deep verse though, because it says, wives, submit to your man as you would submit to the Lord. Meaning, how should a wife look or submit to her husband?
that's a follow of her husband, I guess. I mean, have you fall after the Lord? I mean,
not so much the father. You want to try? Go ahead.
Like wholeheartedly?
Wholeheartedly, yes, definitely wholeheartedly. What should the Lord be to everyone?
right? Guidance.
Definitely guidance. Yeah. It's one word that I just had to end the live on Facebook.
As a as a symbol of perfection, I guess.
He is. Anybody else want to take this? How should we all look at the Lord? He is our Father. He is our head. So everything I said was right. But to sum it up, he should be our everything.
I said that I'm whispering.
Guess what? You don't whisper everything.
I thought that was just like a
you don't.
no-brainer. I was like,
And that's why I was trying. That's why I was trying to make it seem as a no-brainer, right? The Lord should be our everything.
Right.
Like we look to Him for what? Everything.
Right.
Like He's our everything. Right. So how should the woman submit herself to her husband? Meaning everything that woman is, she is to her husband, and no man else. In mind, body, spirit, and everything. So, this goes both ways, because this is how you obviously understand if you got a truly good woman. Right. Women, this is also how you understand if you actually a good woman worth being wifed up. When you with a man, do you look at him as everything, or he nice? I like him. I do. But I still take Tony on the side. Tony, we've been kicking it for a while. I can't just do Tony. But this man right here, he's nice. I like him. I can see myself with him. But me and Tony got history. That woman ain't this woman. You understand? Your wife should look at you as her everything. Meaning everything of her, she wants to give to you. Good, the bad, the ugly. It's all yours. And what you do with it, my Lord, is your call. Now, if our women as a whole start doing that, now that's going to change the dynamic of America. Just by that. And that kind of goes into what I was talking about earlier. They start doing that, that changes the dynamic of America. Because that's going by nature make brothers want to be better. If you can actually get a nice, fine-ass woman that really want to give you her everything, well, now it makes you think twice about doing this, that, and the third. Do I really want to sell those drugs? I think I need to make a home for this woman. She's literally putting her life on the line for me. I need to make something stable for her. I need to be a leader. You know what? I'm not sure about life. Let me figure out about life. Oh, there go U.P.K. right there. Now, as a black man, you're going to figure out about life in here. You're going to figure out how to run a household, how to be a leader, how to follow the righteous men, how to read the Bible, how to understand the Bible, how to understand the law, how to understand your people. You become a lot of things that colleges are expected to give you, a degree in counseling and psychology and all that. We got brothers in here that ain't never been to a college that know how to do it better than them. Right. It's simple. It's simple. Because the Bible is more dynamic than any college you can go to. Right. When you understand it for what the Lord has it to be. So let's keep reading. Let's get through this. Where we at?
We're at the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 23.
Okay.
For the husband is the head of the wife.
So the husband is what?
The head of the wife. So
he is the head of the wife. A righteous woman not only understands that, but accepts and wants that. That's what a righteous woman wants. A brother is going to be the head of her, lead her, and protect her, and care for her for the rest of his days.
Right.
Read.
Even as Christ is the head of the church.
Right. So just like Christ is the head of the church, Christ is the head of the U.P.K, and we understand that. There's no doubt in that. Read. You shouldn't doubt your husband being the head of you. Just like we don't doubt Christ is the head of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We don't doubt that. We understand that. Same way, the exact same way women understand that, the exact same way a woman should understand that her man is the head of her.
Right.
Read.
And he is the savior of the body.
Right. He's the savior of the body. Read.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ,
Therefore, now listen to it. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, what does that mean? How are we subject unto Christ?
We submit ourselves to the Father.
Right.
I mean,
It goes. This is an easy one too. It's literally the same thing as the last question I asked you. We submit ourselves in what?
Looking up to him. I mean, shit.
We do. We look up to him. Yeah. He's our leader. He's our king. Greatest brother to ever walk the earth. We understand that. It says, where are we at? 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, and I said, how is the church subject unto Christ? What does that mean? Like how? It says, therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, meaning what? You said what?
Subject is the whole reason for whatever the message is.
Okay. That probably went above my head. But I'm gonna say we just the same way that the Most High is our everything, we follow Christ in everything.
Right.
It's the exact same thing. So the Most High is our everything. Well, what's the example of that and how to do that right? Christ. So we follow him in everything. Understand?
Right.
So that's what they're speaking on. Now read the second part.
So let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
In everything. See? In everything. That's what a righteous wife does. She not kicking it with Tony because they got history. She not kicking it with her old guy friends because, well, we go back. I have a husband that I come up under, and I am his in everything. She's offended when a guy sits or talks to her in any kind of light like that. What's a good precept to that? If I don't get it in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to just give it to you.
Wait.
Huh?
I don't know the verse, but it's pretty much saying sit not with your
Right. Give me Ecclesiastes 9:9. She's supposed to be everything to that man. Can't be everything to that man if she's giving any other brother conversation in any way, shape, or form. Of course, in that light. Now, of course, if you see a brother from the school, you greet him, you know, your house shy, and you know, you leave it at that, whatnot. But any brother that you know you had history with, or you feel like he's taking an interest in you, you should be appalled at that. You there? What's that say?
The book Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
Sit not at all with another man's wife.
What? Read that again.
Sit not at all with another man's wife.
But we got history. You understand?
Sit not at all with another man's wife.
But we done had conversations in the past. You know, we were just friends.
Sit not at all with another man's wife.
Read.
Nor sit down with her in thine arms.
So I can't even put my arm around her.
Sit down with her nor sit down with her in thy arms.
Right.
And spend not thy money with her at the wine.
At the wine. And that's what brothers do all day. On the Bible, hey man, the Lord already know our game. It ain't nothing new. Right. The Lord know how we operate. You're not a smooth brother. You smooth to that woman because she's simple. Right. But if she read these scriptures, she's like, boy, all you doing is breaking Ecclesiastes 9:9. I love to hear a woman say that. That is a glorious woman. When she, Boy, don't you know you about to break Ecclesiastes 9 and 9? What's wrong with you? Why are you even coming to me like that?
Right.
Like when she's truly appalled that another brother of any status or anything comes at her. That's a glorious woman right there. And America don't raise that.
Right.
America tell you keep your options open. America hate God. I'm gonna tell you right now. America hate God. Hey, keep your options open and don't do it until you're sure. Meaning, if you're not sure, just have sex, but don't do it until you're sure. It's crazy. All right, let's get back to Ephesians real quick. Ephesians 5. Ephesians 5 and 24. So 24 said, therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. And that's how a wife should be, subject in everything. Now read 25.
The book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25.
Because this is how the husband should deal with their wives.
Husbands,
love
your wives,
right?
even as Christ
read.
also loved the church
Read.
and gave himself for it.
Well, what's that mean? I was getting real, brothers. What's this one?
Basically, love your wives just the same way. Basically, love your wife just with the same passion that Christ had for us.
True.
And willing, to die. I mean, say die for your wife. I'm not even sure that's the kind of context and zone. But I mean, basically with passion, I guess.
You're right, and then you were about to be all the way right, and you stopped being right. It's exactly what it said. You should be ready and willing to die for your wife.
Right.
You shouldn't think twice about it. You can't protect if she up here getting molested, raped, abused, or killed, and you're still alive.
Right.
What good were you then? Were no good, right?
Right.
And guess what? If you right there and that's happening, what kind of brother are you?
Right.
Before any of my wives get touched, I should be dead.
Right.
And that's the price. Not only am I willing to pay, I'm glad to pay.
Right.
Because I understand this is what the Lord told me my duty is. How do I know? Because that's what Christ did for me.
Right.
My little simple ass. It's a lot of it. If he can do that for me, why can't I do that for the woman, that righteous woman that he blesses me with? If he give me that woman and understand that she's me, she's discreet, she's humble, she's soft spoken, she this, she that. Well, when it go down, I'm the lion that's supposed to roar, not the lioness. The same way, when there was no hope for us, Christ made hope for us by putting his life on the line. That's what we are supposed to understand as men.
Right.
So now what does that tell me? I ain't laying with anything. I ain't willing to die for anything. That woman got to be mighty nice. Die. I mean, I'll fight for you. But die for you is two different things. You understand that? You know what I'm saying? I'll back a couple niggas out, but you talking about putting my life on them? Nah, I can't do that. Not for everybody. But that's what the Lord commanded us to do for our wives. So what does that mean? Now, if you understand this, brother, you're not sleeping with every other bad chick. You're not sleeping with the Instagram model. Because you understand she's going to be in trouble. A lot more trouble than you care to be in your damn self. Why? Because she half naked. So anytime somebody see her, they want her. Now, some men can't control themselves. Well, now you got to fight all those men off. I want no problem with that. I don't want that. That's why give me a modest woman. One that's me. One that's going to, be discreet. Have discretion. Understand that, okay, I have this body, but it's my man, so I need to make sure that I protect it, I cover it anytime I go out, so I don't have anybody thinking anything.
Right.
That also not only does it protect me, but it protects my man. Because if anything goes down with me, guess what? My man is the one that has the answer for it.
Right.
I love that. He's my everything. I don't want that for him.
Right.
See how this works? It goes back. It's a two-way street. And that goes in again what I was saying earlier. I know we was joking about earlier, but if our women understood the value of themselves, they could stop 70-80% of the issues we have. Because if we get this modest woman, we get this righteous woman, well, damn right I'm gonna put my life on the line for her. But guess what? Understanding that I'm gonna put my life on the line for her, she's also not gonna put us in many, if any, situations where I have to do that.
Right.
So that's the value of that woman. There's a whole lot of value in that. You understand? So yeah, the same way Christ died for us is the exact same way we have to. We essentially should be ready to die for our wives. Read 26 real quick.
The book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
That he might sanctify
Right.
and cleanse it
Right.
with the washing of water by the word.
Exactly. And that's how we all cleanse. We're all cleansed by the washing of water, which is the word. It's that simple. And that's how you get your woman cleansed. That's how you get you as a brother cleansed. And this is how you make a marriage cleansed. The word.
Right.
It's that simple. So if you want a righteous marriage, you want to know how to deal with your spouse, you get the word.
Right.
You find those you commune with men of wisdom. You understand? Men that's been doing this. Women that's been doing this. Surround yourself with them. Talk to them. Understand. Help them understand you. You understand them. And you can always come back to the book of the Lord.
Right.
You always come back to the book of the law. This is where we're going to find all our instruction. All of it's right here. You understand? And if we apply everything that we done went over in these past two classes, man, we can fix every relationship. Our marriage rate doesn't have to be the worst in America.
Right.
We literally could be the standard for what a marriage should be if we do these things. But this is something that we have to take on and apply to our lives, into our marriages, into our relationships. So with that, let me make sure ain't no questions in the class. Right. Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna end class. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shabbat to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Thab Bashim Yahweh Shabbat to the sisters. And shalom.